What's going on, guys? What is going on, everybody out here? Sorry, I set everything up for you guys. I don't know if it's crooked or not. It's been a while. YouTube. How's everybody doing, man? It's hot. I'm out here in the heat. You guys are really high for me. Like, I feel like I'm looking up. I'm not used to looking up. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm definitely not used to looking up. This is weird. Is it crooked? It feels crooked for me. First people that come in, let me know, is it crooked or is it not crooked? And what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's been a while. But you guys have to trust that Galen says it's good enough. Cool, it's good enough. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in, Galen. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in here. You guys, I am facing the elements right now. But on topic of why, it's a little more sporadic, me going live right now, I'm training, guys. I'm still doing hardcore arm wrestling stuff. Hopefully you guys saw the Devin Larratt AMA that we did recently, and it's going well. The training is going well. Trust that if I'm not here with you guys on YouTube, I am doing a ton of arm wrestling stuff and training and whatnot. So got people tuned in here. Swedish Viking, thank you for coming in, bud. Thank you for telling me I look good. This thing is weird, this little beard thing, but I'm gonna try to go with it. Arm wrestling opinion here, looking horsed. Thank you, guys. For those of you guys that don't know what horse means, it's a Discord thing. Basically like looking beefy, but looking horsed. If you're looking horsed, that means you're looking super jacked. Ow, sore. Who else you got coming here? Matey says, hey, Derek, some big matches upcoming. Yeah, I don't know if you're talking about me or in general, but in general, yes. And for me, September 4th would be my big match. Damian Schlosser in the house says, what's up? Derek Smith, what's going on, Damian? We got Carlo in here. Ramy, damn it, I'm mispronouncing what's going on, bud. Lloyd Christmas, everything is shared on all platforms. Thank you so much, Lloyd, I appreciate it, bud. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out. So, I've been wanting to go live today. I was kind of planning the last few days. Really important for me to be here. Wonder where I actually went out to the hot garage. It must be about 100 degrees in here right now. I have the door open, the garage door open, and trying to get some air in here. You might hear the fan in the background. Hey, Derek, what's up? Arm wrestle someone, man. I don't have anybody to arm wrestle right now, but I would. I thought you said 6, Daniel. No, I go live at 4. Uncle John goes live at 6. Looking forward to the match. Thank you. Bishop Arm Wrestling, what's going on? Yo. Roni says, I have a first tournament in 4 weeks. What do you recommend? What foe you recommend me? Stay safe. First tournament, stay safe, have fun, absorb as much information as you can. That's the most important thing, guys, as far as competing in your first tournaments. You have to be like a sponge. You have to accept everything. If you go in there with a ton of pride, you're not going to do yourself a good service, man. Because odds are, you're going to do bad your first tournament. If you don't, cool. Go in there with the intention of trying your best. But don't go in there with a bunch of pride where you refuse to listen to people once you lose. Because odds are your first tournament, you're probably not going to do amazing. I mean, if you do, great. But just go apply yourself. Make sure you stay safe, priority number 1. And then absorb, right? That's the first thing. We'll be rooting you from the 4th. Thank you, man. Rami says, what time is it now? It's 4 o'clock on my end, out here in California. Huz says, bruh, it's legit 4 a.m. here. Oh, man, sorry. Clerics93. Tune in here, says, do you see the RVJ versus Michael Todd vid? Yes, I did. It was a practice video, guys. Don't read into it too much, but RVJ was looking great. Definitely working that King's move pretty well. Dave Anderson, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Will you do a match at King of the Table 2? I don't know yet. I haven't heard anything back from the Larry Wheels camp regarding that. Ross says, you versus the current Super Saiyan version of Larry Wheels, who wins? I hope I do. I've been training pretty hard. I'm a lot bigger and stronger than when I was out at Larry's. So I'm hoping to be me for sure. Michael, don't hurt me. Todd says, looking massive, Derek. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Training hard, guys. Training hard. Swedish Viking says, hope so. Lightning's Crib. Why is your half table peg so thick? This was built by a teammate of mine. This is not an official one from like Armbed or any kind of official labs. A buddy of mine built this years ago, so that's what I have. It does what it needs to do. Matey says, by the way, your match against Ron Bath was awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Ron is a legend. He was a little bit tired from the tournament, I'm sure, or super matches before, but it's cool to get any kind of win on Ron Bath for sure. Tyler James, are you eating pancakes? Nah, man, I don't eat pancakes. I eat everything, not just pancakes. Derek, do you think the only thing missing from RVJ's arsenal is side pressure? To me, he seems relatively pretty weak in that vector. What do you think? RVJ has a massive hand, and it's developed, and it's strong, so he tends to use what he's strong at, right? No point in someone that has that much hand control and that much posting ability to focus only on side pressure. So I don't think he's weak at side pressure at all. I think that he goes over other avenues where his strengths lie. Bishop Arm Wrestling met a physically massive amateur named Big Mark at practice 3 months ago who was waxing everyone there, including a couple pro class. People were comparing him to you physically. It was incredible to see. Love hearing about big guys getting in the sport, man. Not enough of us at all. But hopefully I'll run into this guy. I'll be in Arizona for, the plan right now is to be in Arizona for August 6th, 7th for the tournament out there. So maybe we'll cross paths while we're there and kind of work with him, or we can chat up a little bit. The Mutterbird says, hey, yo, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you coming through here. Thank you, sir. Rod Torque, Derek, do you trash talk your opponent during a match? No, I don't really trash talk too much. Not ever been a big fan of that. I more, if I did anything in regards towards trying to affect my opponent, maybe a little bit of intimidation in terms of like grunting and flexing and standing up taller and trying to look bigger than I even am, things like that. Maybe a little bit of intimidation. But as far as trash talking, like, you know, your mama's a hoe, no, that's not my style at all. Do you think Lachlan can actually fill up his frame to close to his potential, being 6'9" and all? Oh, I think you said Lachlan. Letton. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it depends on the guy's, you know, his metabolism and things like that, and his diet and how, you know, much energy he's expending and stuff. So, but that'd be awesome if he can. I hope he can. Maybe first Derek eats his lunch, then dinner, and then your mom and dad. Damn. The arm wrestling opinion, what's better for wrist curls, easy bar, straight bar, or dumbbells? Well, it depends on, okay, so definitely not easy curl, in my opinion. Not easy bar curls. Straight bar or dumbbells would be the question. And I would say, I like isolating. So single hand dumbbells, you can isolate more and it'll hit more stabilizers on the way because you're only using one hand than two-handed. So I guess in the big picture, if you could find a really nice way for isolated dumbbells to hit your cupping, I would say dumbbells. I've never found a way that's super comfortable for me with dumbbells, but in a cool picture would be, you know, having single-handed dumbbells and doing that, but that's not always the case. So two-handed on like a flat bar is usually the way I'll end up going in regards to free weight wrist curls. But I'm also pressed for time, so two hands a little bit faster, obviously, and it's more controlled because there's two hands in there. Raw Torque says, smash that like, peeps. Appreciate that, man. What do we got, 31 people here, 11 likes? Yeah. You guys, I am going to get sweaty during this. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm already sweaty. I'm already glistening. By the time we're done with this, I expect to be drenched in sweat. My shirt is already getting super sweaty. Yep. Let's see. Galen says, resistance bands, those are great. Jim Bob says, RVJ Monster Michael Todd practice. Yep, I saw it. RVJ was looking good, but it's just a practice, guys. Damien says, are you still doing more full range of motion stuff, or are you doing more partials now? I'm still doing a lot of full range type of stuff, but I'm definitely mixing in more partials as they get closer to my match. Ross Reich says, what do you think about RVJ headbutting Michael Todd after beating him? Should be a monster, but should the monster have tombstoned him? Yeah, maybe. Lightning's Crib says, hey, Derek, so IFA Worlds is coming up, and it's going to be my first big tournament. Any advice on weight cutting and what I'm going into for adjust my mindset? In regards to weight cutting, obviously, I'm not the best guy to ask about that. I've never cut weight in my entire life. I do have teammates, though, and I do have a lot of friends that cut weight a lot, and I've been pretty close with them. Just take it easy. You want to cruise into the tournament, you know, not feeling depleted. A lot of people do a really, really heavy cut like the night before. You don't want to feel weak the day of. That's like priority number one, right? So cruise into your weight cut. You want to be maybe a pound, 2-pound water cut, something like, you know, no more than like 5 or 10 pounds in my opinion, because then it's going to start taking away from your performance. So start dieting now so you cruise into that weight and you don't have to do some huge drastic cut. In terms of mental prep, go there and prepare to apply yourself, man. Stop worrying about what other people do. You want to lead the dance. In a terms of arm wrestling, man, you always want to be the one controlling the match and dictating where it's going. If you go there and you're so stressed out on what they're doing, you're going to be adjusting. Now, I don't know how good your adjustments are and how good you're adjusting on the fly, so I would say go there prepared to do you and make them adjust to you, so lead the dance, right? Lead the dance. Desperation Pinocchio in the house. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming in. Were you watching Cops? No. Rod Torque, Derek, do you do cardio? Traditionally, no. I'll do it as needed. In terms of gaining weight and gaining strength, I kind of watch my energy levels and how much I'm worried about gaining. But now, moving into my Tom Nelson match, one thing I do need to gain is better endurance. So it's something I'll definitely be pursuing a little bit. Roni says, how do you get arm wrestling more popular in countries where it's not that popular? You got to put it out there, bud. In my opinion, you got to put it out there in front of people. I mean, you might not be a major promoter, but that doesn't mean you can't take an arm wrestling table and go to a crowded area, a gathering, a concert in the park, something like that, and bring a table and get people to get involved, start asking questions, hand out business cards, hand out flyers, hand out your phone number, talk to people, and get things moving through word of mouth. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Elite B Patch says, Derek, I've been getting better at arm wrestling, beating everyone I arm wrestle. I'm 5'9" and 195, and I can pull men. Man, much love to you and the community. Thanks, Elite. I appreciate you coming in here. Keep killing it, bro. Keep going out there. Keep yourself safe, and keep the people you're pulling against safe, so we don't keep getting this crazy, I don't want to break my arm opinion when people think about arm wrestling. Huz, do you think flat bar curls behind your body, right behind your butt while standing up is good for arm wrestling? If so, how good? When I do my flat bar wrist curls, I'm standing up and I do them in front of me. I'm big, man. Getting my back or my arms behind my back and trying to do it like that has never been comfortable. I'm a bigger fan of having them in front of me. So for me and my style and what feels comfortable for me, I have the flat bar in front of me when I do my wrist curls. Let's see. Do you think Kirakos Grizzly could become a great arm wrestler? That dude's huge. That's that guy that does those crazy lifts, right? The really, really big dude that lifts wild weight, like in these really weird lifts. I'm sure if he dedicated himself, he could be really strong at whatever he does. Also, is he Russian? I can't remember where he's from. If he is Russian, the odds are he already knows how to arm wrestle. He's probably strong as hell. Rod Torque, you're going to crush Tom Nelson. Derek is the man. War, Derek. I appreciate that, man. I will definitely do my best, guys, to apply myself and not let you down. Mark J says, first rule of arm wrestling, don't talk about arm breaks, right? Swedish Viking says, yes, Greek. Oh, he's Greek. Okay. It makes sense. I should have known that from the name. Yeah, I mean, dude, that dude's a big, strong man. That's for sure. Brandon Daniel says, what's up, guys? What's going on? Thanks for joining up, bro. Craig R. Poutine. We need a Canada versus America tourney. Oh, damn. That'd be fun. I'm down. There's definitely some guys in Canada that I'm definitely interested in pulling, so that'd be fun. Richard Lee, thanks for tuning in, says, are you dropping weight? I don't even know how much I weigh right now. I might end up losing a little bit leading up to my Tom match because, like I said, I'm going to start focusing on endurance a little more, so I don't want to be so out of breath that I can't handle the super match. So I might shed a few pounds, but like I said, the scale at my gym is only goes up to 350, and I'm above that, so I don't know how heavy I am right now to be measuring my weight loss. Bishop Arm Wrestling says, is Tom Nelson actually anti-PED or just trolling the big dogs, referring to his recent posts on arm wrestling discussion? As far as I know, Tom's natty. I mean, he's never really fluctuated weight all that much, 20 pounds here and there over years. I believe him. I mean, good for him. You know, Tom's a good buddy of mine outside of this whole thing. And, if that's what he focuses on, that's what he focuses on. Everybody runs their own race, man. So Tom is a strong dude regardless of what he's taking. It's not really up to me, and I really don't care what he's taking or not. Derek versus SB, says Rod Torque. That's definitely a right-handed match I'm interested in. Lefty, I don't know if I could touch Ryan, but my left feeling pretty strong, so I'm down to grip up. But right-handed, I would love to have a super match with Ryan SB. Let's see. I Am Legend says, does the rice bucket make your hands thicker? Yes, definitely does. I don't have a rice bucket in here. My rice bucket's in my house, actually. But yeah, put the hand in the rice bucket, open and close your fist, move your wrists around. It definitely works a lot of small muscles and intricate, smaller details in the wrist, and helps grow. I feel it's super, my hand gets super blown up after I do a lot of rice bucket work. So it definitely gets it a lot thicker. Anthony Marino says, and speaking of broken arms, what about that guy, Victor? I don't know what you're referring to. Are you talking about the guy that broke his arm at Florida? Was that Florida? I don't know anything about it. Haven't heard anything about it. I saw a video from Artem saying some guy broke his arm, but that's all I know. I haven't asked any questions. I don't know anything else about that. Huz, Derek, I'm very excited to see you get even bigger and crush absolutely everyone. Keep it up, man. Love the content. And for the love of God, get a new weighing scale. We're way too curious. I know, right? Everybody asks me my weight all the time. I should get a scale so I could show you guys. It's not the biggest deal for me, as long as I'm still lifting, staying healthy, and getting as strong as I can. Weight comes to me. I just go up. That's what I do with my frame. So yeah, but for you guys, I should go get a new scale. Chancey versus Smith from Clerks 93. I'm sure you're talking about Chance Shaw. Answer this question pretty much every stream. Me and Chance aren't really focused on each other at this point. A good buddy of mine. We're just trying to move up individually up the rankings. Maybe one day in the future when the time comes, we'll have a match, but it's not something we're really focused on right now. I know it'd be interesting for you guys to see because there's a lot of content about Chance, and I'm somewhere here in the content, war. But I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point. But it's not a big priority. Right now, we're trying to focus on bigger names and moving up the ladder. Don't worry about anyone, just do Derek. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Rando Commando 41 says, do you think Chance Shaw could ever become number one in the U.S.? Yes, I think he could for sure, until I get there. Boom, Chance. No. But yeah, definitely. Chance is definitely super young, smart kid, has a lot of potential, physically has a lot of gifts. So, he can go as far as he wants. We'll see where he ends up. Brandon Daniels, I don't know if it's been asked yet, but do you see RVJ and Michael sparring? Thoughts? Yes, I saw it. RVJ looked great. It was just practice. Don't read into it too much. But I answered that a couple times. Damian Schlosser, do you even use that half table behind you? Not really. No. I had the half table, guys. I got it years ago. And sometimes if I work out in my garage, which I normally don't, I go to a gym. I go to a commercial gym usually. But if I work out in the garage, I'll put my elbow down because when I'm doing wrist curls and things like that, why not replicate an arm wrestling type of angle? But I'm not big on relying on a half table to or gym work to replicate arm wrestling pressures. I'd rather just arm wrestle. Yeah. Oh, Peyton Chancey, he pinned Chance Shaw, though. Oh, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Peyton Chancey is. I'd have to see more about him. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Chance Shaw. Craig D, would you ever consider getting your beard as large as Monster Michael Todd's? You guys, my facial hair grows in super white trashy. Like, you see this patch right here? Like, that's why I never grow it out. It grows in pretty gross. Trying to monitor a little bit and see. People tend to like it when I have some, but it's never looked real nice. So we'll see how it pans out and how much I grow it out. But it does get annoying when I'm trying to eat and stuff, and this gets long, like, trying to get everything on my face. B. Sim says, yo, Derek, I always wondered about your time playing college basketball in California. Yeah, I played, I went to Ukaipa High School. I played, I first picked up basketball my sophomore year, and then I became insanely obsessed. The first thing I've ever been obsessed with my entire life. That's why I have one love tattooed on my arm in German, because I get very obsessed with one thing at a time. One obsession, right? Basketball was my first obsession. It was the first time I learned a lot about myself in regards to focusing on something. And so by the time I picked up my sophomore year, by the time I was a senior, I was the leading scorer on my high school basketball team. We went to playoffs for the first time in like 5 or 6 or 7 years or something like that. Yeah, I did really good. Got invited to the county all-star game, the biggest county in the United States, San Bernardino County. I started the county all-star game. So I was good. I was really good at basketball, especially by the time I was a senior. I was 6'7", 215. And then I had problems with grades. I did not like school. And so I had to go to a junior college to qualify for university. And so I got letters from every junior college in the area, like a lot of letters, and I went to the closest junior college, which was Mount San Jacinto, and they were #1 in California at the time. I was gonna go there for a year to qualify for university, hopefully go Division I or something like that. But I went for a year, did not get along with the coach, and I figured, hey, you know what, I'll take a year off, and I'll get back into it. Well, that never happened, right? So I never really sustained an injury or anything like that, and I did good that year I was playing. I thought I was getting more playing time because I was so big and good, and I ended up not getting along with the coach. So took a break and never went back to it, really. Started playing video games after that, became a professional video game player, found my second obsession, and history takes after that. But yeah, basketball, that was my life for sure. Brandon Daniels, how I'm sure you did. Dan Eric, how'd the orgy go? We can talk about that on Discord later. I wasn't in an orgy. If that's it, but there's a story, inside joke there. Have you ever touched Chafee's hand? I met Chafee one time years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago. There's a picture of us, but no, we didn't arm wrestle. We just gripped up for a picture. I remember it being muscly, but not insanely big. Hopefully I get a chance to grip up with Dave and train with him a little bit. Damien says, give the beer a chance. It might surprise you with time. Maybe. We'll see. Tat says, hey, Derek, how would you see Chafee versus Hermes? Let's see. Hermes is fast, explosive with a lot of hand. I just don't I can't. I think Dave has so much horsepower. I can't see Hermes over a super match whittling down Dave enough to make it in too big of a match. So I'd favor Dave, maybe with a little bit of a flat wrist, kind of pulling through him. That's what I would think would happen with Dave and Hermes, in my opinion. Did you ever see that video from Igor on Devin versus Levon? No, I have not. Guys, I'm way behind on watching stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so far behind on content. There's so many people putting out so many videos. Devin's putting out 3 videos a day. Ryan Bowen's cranking out 2 a day. There's nonstop live chats and podcasts. I'm so far behind. I just try to keep up on the big news and stuff as much as I can, so I can at least speak to it a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely not watching everything like I should be. Now that you know Devin played basketball, though, would you ever play one-on-one with him? I would absolutely crush Devin if we played one-on-one. Only because I'm so much bigger than him. I would back him up to the basket and just do a little jump hook. There's no way. And Devin even said himself, he was not a good ball handler, wasn't a good shooter. So if he can't shoot from long distance, then I would destroy Devin in basketball. Write that down. Unless I'm so fat now that my endurance is so bad that somehow that plays a big factor. But I'm pretty sure I could just lean on him and then it'd be over with. Michael Edwards says, get it. Huz says, horrified. Wait, I wasn't in an orgy. Working out, listening to me. Michael Edwards in the house, you guys. Big shout out to Texas Arm Wrestling. Michael Edwards in here, always promoting the Texas Arm Wrestling League. That's my guy over there on Discord. We're talking all the time. Michael's always training on the camera 24/7, always lifting weights and arm wrestling people on Discord live. And we always chip away at Mike. He's a little guy, but he has some spunk. Thanks for tuning in, Mike. I appreciate you being here, bud. Skyhook from Raw Torque, exactly. Blake says he called out Devin to pull Levon in December and then acted like Devin might be scared and won't do it. Devin is, besides our interview, like I've been talking to Devin over the last few days, and Devin is definitely obsessed with having a match with Levon. He wants nobody else besides Levon. He is one-track minded on pulling Levon. So I don't know what Igor's is trying to build up hype and stuff, whatever. But yeah, Devin's definitely full-on Levon right now. Daniel plugging the Discord right now, you guys. If you guys get a chance, check out the link right there. Daniel Yurick just shared in the chat for the Discord. Come hang out. It's a live chat room, guys. It just is going 24/7. It's about arm wrestling. There's 2 Discord servers. There's the Polar Public Discord server, which has a bunch of guys talking about arm wrestling. And there's the Arm Wrestling Discord server, which you'll find me in most often. Same thing, we're talking about arm wrestling all the time. But it's like a live chat. You can hit me up whenever. I have notifications on my phone, and I'm answering all questions and hanging out with you guys as much as possible. Brendan Daniels says, a quick summary of the arm bet video, match Levon possible as early as December, but wouldn't be the part of the top 8 or affect it, called a friendly and all-time match. Oh, all of a sudden Igor's playing ball. Good. Rando Commando 41, what was your vertical? See, I was just talking to someone about that. My vertical in high school, I could jump. It was in the 30s. I never broke 40, but I can't remember exactly where in the 30s it was. I could jump though. I couldn't just barely get in there. Like from vertical, I could jump, cock it back, and dunk it. So I could definitely jump. I was pretty athletic, actually. I was lighter, guys. 100 and something pounds lighter. Craig D's, Eric Spoto in the top 10 supers. Devin makes it seem like it is. As last I heard, Eric Spoto was injured with his elbow from when he was pulling Devin. So I don't know, right now, I don't know where he's at. Now, if, like I've said a few times, if Eric Spoto gets in his lane and he starts driving, then his offensive power is insane. Top 5 offensive power. But he has to get there. And I think he might have a little problem getting there with some people because in practice and stuff, Devin and them let him get there. I'm not sure if he could get into his spot with some other elite pullers. So I don't know. But his offensive ability when he is there, top 5. Top in North America. Let's see. Brandon Daniel says, Craig D, maybe in North America, worldwide, not a chance. Dave Anderson, you could beat 280-pound Devin. Unlikely a 240-pound Devin, at least a better contest. Dude, any Devin is an insane test of arm wrestling knowledge and capability. That's for sure. Branch Atlas says, that boy D-Dog. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I'm going to beat you when you come to Damien's practice, says Justin Takax. Takax? Okay. I'm coming for a practice and a seminar. I probably won't be taking much time off the gym for it, but hey, do it. Michael Edwards says, thanks, brother. Damien Slush says, oh my God, Justin, relax. Damien, what's up with your boys in here attacking me, man? English professor Vitale says, thoughts on Levon saying that he doesn't think Devin can stop Vitale. It's a lot. It's a lot. Stopping Vitale, you have to have some really special tools in order to stop that height and that back pressure. If anybody could figure out a way to do it, like the smartest way to approach that situation, it'd be Devin for sure. But who could he do it? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, the 293 Devin, maybe. Let's see. Have you ever tried any of the wrist ball products? Wait, wrist ball is arm sport, right? That's the same wrist ball. Yeah, it is. I think. Wrist Max. Oh yeah, wristball.net. That's the same company. Yes, I have tried it. I've been using this, but I haven't tried the actual wrist ball. This is awesome. I actually recorded a whole video for YouTube of me doing a review on this, which I need to upload, finish editing and upload soon. But yes, definitely a nice handle. Thank you for sending that to me. First super chat of the day from Richard Lee, $5 super chat, says, keep it up. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Support. Thanks, man. Let's see. Have you ever tried it? Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I read that. What was your most memorable dunk in a game? I don't know. I remember my first game ever in a summer league with college, my first college game ever. The other team had a 7-footer, and I went baseline, and I jumped, and I got over him, and right when I was going to dunk it, he hit my hand, and the ball flew over the other side of the rim, and I grabbed onto the rim, and I remember screaming at him, like, you're so lucky. But I don't, besides that, I mean, I remember that because that was monumental to me, because I was like the first college. Oh, I'm back. You guys, are you still there? Did everybody leave yet? Did everybody leave? I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a phone call. Very, 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 very frustrating because it freezes. Dude, I have everything off. I'm on my phone right now because I'm back in the garage. I have everything off. Like, do not disturb. Dude, I don't know how phone calls get through to me and freeze this. So frustrating. On that note, on the phone call note and it interrupting my life, you guys, check this out. So I want to touch on this. The channel is going to be taking a big uptick. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so the channel is going to be taking a huge upgrade. I spent $3,500 2 days ago, and I bought a PC. I bought everything. Everything there is. I bought cameras, I bought mics, and I bought headphones and monitors, and I bought everything. So I got the PC's already been delivered. It's up. I have it delivered to my mom's house, so because I don't trust people not stealing off my porch. I got to go up there and get it. Yeah, so everything else is coming in. Big upgrade coming. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm back. Sorry about that. Is it crooked? I feel like it's more crooked now. No? Maybe? All right. So, yeah, I'm excited about the channel getting big, and I'll be able to edit, and I'll do voiceovers, and I'll be able to do more Skype interviews and things like that. Ton of stuff in the works. I invested big time into myself and into the channel for you guys. So it was hard. It's hard to spend that much money, but I got it. Damn, you weren't kidding. Your shirt is almost completely drenched. Yeah, I told you. It is so hot in here. Okay, kind of leaning to the right. Damn it. I don't know what, okay, I got an idea for right now. I have a different tripod. It's shorter. It's right in front of me. You guys go from that one. To this one. There we go. And I got a different tripod. So, okay, someone asked a question here. I was in the middle of sending a super chat. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I'm back. Have I ever sprained my elbow? Someone asked. No. Derek is a new Cleve Dean. No, that dude was huge. I've never met him, but that dude was amazing. Can I bend horseshoes like Vitale? No, I cannot. What do you think the best way to stop Vitale is? Have a high knuckle and to post. And have you have to have a ton of hand. Have you ever tried rock climbing? No, I have not. Okay. All right. I think I'm almost caught up there. Devin Laird is the GOAT. Devin is the current active GOAT. Actually, John's coming back to the poll, so. But Devin doesn't have the accomplishments John has. But Devin is amazing. Definitely top guy. But I don't think even Devin would call himself the GOAT. If you coach Brian Shaw, could you get him to top 5? How long would it take you? If I coach Brian Shaw, I would need him here. If somehow Brian Shaw moved down here to Southern California and was right next to me, how long could I until I think I can make Brian Shaw into top 5? 2.5 years, 2 years. I think 2 years, maybe less, depending on how fast he heals up and how serious he takes it. He definitely has a massive hand, strong grip, strong forearm, all the other necessary muscles, a lot of them anyway. So it would just be fine-tuning, conditioning his elbows, teaching him how to arm wrestle, and strengthening up his actual cupping and pronation, which he probably doesn't have a ton of those yet. Derek, can you please go to Arm Wars this year and live record there? Man, I want to. We'll see. I'm working on. I might have a match where I don't know if I'm gonna have one, but there was talks about me having a match in Arm Wars, and I hope it happens, but who knows? Dave Anderson, I can bend horseshoes, just have to warm up a bit. I've never tried bending the horseshoes, so maybe I could, but I don't know. Raw Torque says, is Corey what Monster Michael Todd makes him out to be? Oh, is Corey what? Corey is amazing. That dude is a tank. He has very strong cupping and very strong inside pressure, for sure. A lot of bicep. I'd love to see more stuff out of Corey, see if he could top roll and things like that. But I know for sure his inside game is really, really good, really sharp. Rev says, what movements would you do to strengthen a defensive hook? What movements? Okay, so in terms of the way I train, the way I approach arm wrestling, guys, I don't do I don't try to replicate arm wrestling movements on a pulley system or on a table. That's why this table doesn't get used very often. If I'm here and I'm doing wrist curls or something, then I'll use the table. But in general, my lifts are isolated lifts, kind of like a bodybuilder, in terms of the way I isolate my bicep or different parts of my chest and my shoulder are super isolated lifts, full range, sometimes partials, sometimes isolated motions, but or isolated holds. But and then I put it together at practice, so I don't just sit there and try to hold a dumbbell like this on a pulley, because you're never going to replicate arm wrestling. So if you invest too much time, in my opinion, this is my opinion, people have different approaches to it. In my opinion, if you're trying to replicate arm wrestling pressures on a pulley system, you're going to do yourself a disservice, because the guy's hand is never going to be the same size as that. The guy's never going to pull in the same direction. He's going to have pressure in different spots of your hand. You're not ever going to become if you get too used to pulling pulleys or too overdeveloped, relying on a pulley to be in a certain angle and a certain style, then when you actually go against a real person, it's not going to be that way. The guy's hand is going to be rotating you while he's going knuckles up, while you're being pulled sideways, and you're trying to I don't rely on it that way. So if you're asking what angles I try to replicate for defensive hooking, I wouldn't. If I wanted to work on defensive hooking, for instance, for me, I was like, okay, get better defensive hooking. Then I would be doing defensive hooking is generally where you're on your bicep, because your palm would be up. So I'd be working a ton of bicep. Pronating is what stops the guy from pinning you. Cupping is always important pressure to be applying, especially in a defensive hook. So I'll be working on those things, right? And then on the table, I'll be focusing on tightening up, bringing my shoulder over my arm, and things like that, and not separating. But yeah, I don't do pulley system stuff if you're asking for movements like that. Blake says, I don't think it would take too long if he committed. I don't think there's a person alive that commits the way he does. For Brian Shaw, yeah, potentially. Oh, super chat from Calvin Jones. Thanks for investing. 20 euro super chat. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I think it's euros. Appreciate the super chat, man. I'm gonna get bigger, guys. I mean, physically maybe too, but the channel, I promise the channel will be upgrading. Oh, another super chat in the house from Michael Edwards, the $10 super chat. Thanks a lot, bud. Thanks for the shout outs, brother. Always trying to get some views on the TAL. We have a YouTube channel and events all the time for some great content. Daniel Yerk, if you're in the chat, or Damien, you guys are both moderators in the chat right now. Can you guys please plug the TAL YouTube channel into the chat? I appreciate that, so we can start getting them some love. Guys, look at this. But I knew it was gonna be hot out here, so I put some water in here. There was ice in it, but I doubt it's still cold. Oh, yeah. It's like, what is it, 64 ounces? Um, okay. All right, let's scroll back. Sorry, super chats took me off kilter here. Okay, yeah. So Brian Shaw committed. He'd be amazing. I agree. Devin defeated John 6-0. Remember, and Michael Todd 6-0. Is that your argument that Devin's the GOAT? But you have to do a lot more than that. It's about your career and what you've done over your career. There's a lot of excuses for when Devin beat John, but then you got to remember John beat Devin before John retired. So what are we gonna say about that? And then also Michael 6-0. No, that's a great huge accomplishment. Last time John pulled Mike, he beat Mike too. Bump Bell says, "How is the PEDs going?" Oh, dude, so good, man. I'm just injecting them in my neck, in my forehead, and in the back of my neck, just 24/7, man. Nothing but PEDs over here. Avatar Magnus says, "When things open up, we look forward to seeing you in Toronto, Canada, for training and competing and some fun. Keep the content, great content. Keep it going." Thanks, Avatar. I appreciate that, man. Daniel Urick plugging Lion Straps in here, guys. Lion Straps, that's my buddy's strap company. It's doing amazing. You guys keep buying straps from Lion Straps. They are the best straps. Other strap companies have very similar straps to my buddy Leo's straps, Lion Straps. But there are some subtle differences. I like his buckles better. The tubular nylon, I like the colors he uses better, stuff like that. I know he's looking into printing on the straps themselves, trying to find a sustainable way where the print won't come off the straps, but it's upgrading. And I have some cool ideas for him to make some more awesome straps. So I'll be on him more about upgrading his selection. Rando Commander says, "Who's the best basketball player you played with or against?" Rando, you're on the basketball questions, man. Antoine Wright came out here. He was an NBA player. He came out here a few times. When I went up, I flew up to Gonzaga and I trained up there. I played with Ronnie Turioff and Adam Morrison. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into the basketball stuff, but yeah, those are some names that popped up to me. Michael Edwards with another $20 super chat. Mike throwing money at me. I always have to show you some support as well, brother. You have helped a ton of my fair share of arm wrestling. Again, thanks to the support you give. Again, thanks for the support you give to the sport we love. Yeah, dude, I love it as well. It is our thing, guys. I'm a big believer in us as arm wrestlers promoting the sport, growing the sport. We're the ones that love it more than anybody, and if we're not going to keep pushing the sport, who will, right? So it's up to us, you guys, to keep promoting this thing and keep it moving. Okay, sorry, I know I'm falling way behind. Brzezinski has a winning record on Devin, says Clerks is true. Dave Anderson warming up with a forge, have shod horses. Okay. Zirakli Irakashvili, can you beat Ryan? I believe so. We'll leave it there. Grip says, how much rest do you give muscles between workouts? Big muscles, I tend to give it a week, right? Chest once a week, shoulders once a week, heavy biceps once a week. Forearms, I used to do them every day, right? But it was not a lot. It was like one exercise, maybe like 4 or 5 sets every day. And it got to an okay level. Then I was working with Ingen, and I started doing forearms once a week, cupping once a week, pronation once a week, rising once a week. And I wasn't seeing a ton of growth in my hand and wrist. So recently I went back to 3 times a week. 3 times a week cupping, 3 times a week rising and pronation. Sorry. And that's been doing really well. My hand is an all-time strong right now, all-time high. So I think that's the magical number for me. I know they say the forearms and your muscles in your forearms recover differently. They're kind of like your abs or your calves. They recover differently and quicker than your other big muscles, is what I've heard. And it seems to me to be proving correct. But you definitely don't want to kill them so bad that you're not making gains. So kind of you got to find that sweet number for you and how fast you heal with your diet and rest and age and blah, 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 right? 6-0 on John. Devin did that. Yep, that he did. I'm not arguing that at all. Man Cave 224. Are you in the top 10 in North America? I'm not currently ranked top 10 in North America. I'm not on the rankings top 10. Left-handed I am. Left-handed I'm ninth, 8th, 9th. But I think I'm at that level. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm there, but I'm not currently on the rankings top 10 in North America. Craig D says, if Larry Wheels keeps training for arm wrestling, could he ever beat Schoolboy because he wasn't even close? He was closer than you think. I know the score wasn't super close, but there was positions and situations where Larry did stop Schoolboy, and Schoolboy had to adjust and reapply and start digging in to beat Larry. And that right there is a victory in and of itself. So yes, I definitely believe that Larry could beat Schoolboy with enough work and focus and time. I definitely believe that. Austin Webb says, do you offer your training routine to the public? Not right now. You guys, the last thing I'd ever want to do is not give you guys what you deserve, especially if you're paying me. And I did online coaching for a while, and it went great. And the people I was working with, I feel make huge gains. But it takes a lot of time. And when I do it, I go all out, right? And so it's a full-time job, the amount of time and effort I put into it. So I'm trying to get to the point where it all makes sense, right? It has to make sense with the amount of time I'm putting into it and how much money I'm going to ask for you guys to pay for it. So that's for individual training. Now, as far as my training routine, I'll tell you guys what I do, but you guys have to remember we're at different situations, right? I'm worrying about different things than you guys. I've been in the sport a different amount of time. There's table time might be more important for you, but less important for that guy. But he might need more of this or less than that. That guy might be in a lightweight class, so he can't really lift too heavy and eat as much as I can. So you don't want to go off exactly what I do unless you're like exact same situation as me. You know what I'm saying? Or Devin or this and that. So if you guys ever do pay for training or something like that from somebody, make sure you get it individualized for you and what you need and where you're at in the sport, and so someone can tailor make it for you, because it's not all the same for everybody, guys. Another super chat came in the house from Pump Bells, says, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, because I've offended you earlier, talk about grip setup for a non-top roller. You didn't offend me, man. Talk about grip setup for a non-top roller. Okay, so non-top roller would mean I'm assuming you mean an inside puller, like a hook puller. Coverage is big. Coverage as far as getting your fingers around the back of their hand. Now, you guys remember one thing. When you're arm wrestling amateurs, it's a whole different ballgame. When you start going up to the pro levels, people start thinking more on the table. Coverage doesn't have to be what you're actually grabbing at the beginning of the match, but it can be what you're gonna grab at the beginning of the match. So showing somebody, if I walk up to you, right, and you're a top roller and you're getting ready to pull backwards and you want to bend my hand back, and I grab you, I get a big deep grip on the back of your hand. You're gonna feel that. You're not gonna like it. You're gonna feel my fingers go way over the side of your hand, and you're gonna be like, oh no. You're gonna let go or get a regrip or just turn your hand to get me off the back of your hand. You're gonna do a bunch of stuff. But if I walk up and I know how deep I'm past your hand, so I know that if I do close my hand all the way, my grip is like right there. But instead of me going for the grip at the beginning before they say go, if I close my hand lightly, like up here, I know that if I grab you, it'll be down here and you won't like it and you won't let it start, and we'll probably go to a ref grip. But if I grab you with a little bit of space like this, and then right when they say go, I grab it. Right when they say go, I grab it, or right after the go, I grab it. Then I got the coverage I wanted, but I didn't show it to you. I didn't show you how much coverage the potential coverage I had, right? So you kind of can fake some coverage, right? Don't always show them everything you have in terms of coverage as an inside puller, because it scares off the top rollers. It'll scare them into regripping. It'll scare them into ref grips and things like that. So if you can get deep, it's called a push-pass method. If you can push into them, you push it so that your palm goes past the back of their hand, right? So that way when you close it, they're into the palm of your hand right here rather than in your fingertips. You see what I'm saying? So don't always show them everything you have. There's a trick in regards to that. Oh, Grip with the $2 super chat. Thanks for the thoughtful answer. You the man. Thanks, Grip. I appreciate that, man. All the support, guys, for the channel. Love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I promise. Guaranteed the channel is taking a big upgrade, guys. It's there. The computer is there. Everything is there. Wes Bjornson, my main man Wes, will be flying out here to help me set everything up and get everything pristine. And so all my lives and all this stuff will be taking a huge upgrade. So it's for sure happening. Not maybe, not hopefully. It's for sure happening. 100%. So I'm really excited about that. I know I fell way behind on you guys here. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. I think I found it. Rev says, thanks, man. Pollen says, Ayo, chance for us to meet you. Kachan from Texas. How do you think that goes? Dimitri beat Robbie just a few months ago. I know Robbie beat Chance, but it's styles, guys. It's always styles make matchups for sure, and especially at the level Chance is at. You really have to have a very specific style to beat Chance. You better be a very, very hand-dominant style arm wrestler, and if you're going to mess with Chance, you have to be all handy. So Dimitri, if I remember that match correctly, Dimitri and Robbie, Dimitri posted a lot and was able to get outside. I don't know if that same stuff will work against Chance. So off the top of my head, I'll go with Chance until proven otherwise. Huz says, have you ever tried the 3D printed handles that Devin got with pulleys? 3D printed handles. Like these? And these? And these? Yeah. Yeah. I have them. Yeah, I use them. I definitely use them. I use the cone handle mostly, but I use the other stuff when I feel like being more isolated in my movements. So yeah. Let's see. Raw Torque, Derek, you would crush Schoolboy. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I definitely want to pull him, or I'm definitely down to pull him. Want would mean I'm pursuing Schoolboy, and I'm not. But if it came across or something like that, I mean, why not? I'm down to arm wrestle Schoolboy. Devil Raper says, I want to see Robbie Burnett and Dimitri against international arm wrestlers. Those guys are beasts. I'm a big Robbie Burnett fan. You guys, I believe Robbie Burnett is severely underrated. Robbie has so much hand, and he's done such amazing things. No one talks about him, but I hear he's moving down to 242s. I think that's what he told Chance recently, that he's cutting a lot of weight. So, could you beat Devin 3 water bottle chug time? I might be able to. I watched that video. He's, see how he's drinking it? He's already unscrewing the bottles and stuff, so it's continuous water. I think I can get it. I think I might be able to get it. Canadian Chihuahua with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. How long until we see a trans in women's division? I kid. On a serious note, will you be competing in King of the Table 2? I put my name in the hat for King of the Table 2. We'll see if they want me. But I just need to keep focusing on me getting stronger and increasing my worth. So in regards to like big matches and big opportunities like that, the more I get out there, the bigger names I beat, the stronger I'm getting, and the more the social media keeps growing and things like that, opportunities like King of the Table will present themselves. I just got to keep training and getting stronger and beating people, and like I have to do that, right? That's the most important thing. So I can't stress too much about if other people like me right now or they want to invite me to their cool super match stuff. Hopefully they do, but either way, I'm doing me. I'm gonna do my trek, my path, and we'll see where it ends up with. Hopefully you guys come along with me. I'm really excited because I feel I'm still going for that #1 spot in the world, guys. So hopefully you guys stay with me on this trek to climb this mountain, this Mount Everest, and get to some kind of crazy level. That's the plan, and I want you guys to be with me the whole way. I really think I can make it, guys. I really think I can. So, let's see. Kyle H1357. Wait, you don't just eat pancakes and win? No, I don't just eat pancakes and win. I love pancakes with peanut butter. I don't like them just normal. Craig D, would you ever move out of California? The news makes it seem like it's going downhill. It's definitely going downhill. I am a father, and I'm not currently with my baby mama, so my daughter is around here. I will never, ever, ever leave my daughter. So if there was a way where we all move together, maybe, but I'll never bone out on the daughter. She's too important to me. She's everything. So, I'm with her. If she's in California, I'm in California. If somehow she relocated to Texas, Derek's moving to Texas. So, I'll never, ever leave her. John is the second greatest to me. John's amazing. I'm not going to get into the argument about who's the GOAT too much. That should be pretty obvious. Greg Langfield says, hey, that new kid, Andy, that started coming to your practice is a bum. Andy. There's a new kid, Andy? Andy. I have to see. Andy. We have a new Andy? I forget, dude. Honestly, there's some new guys that come to the practice that have only been there a couple, like 1 day or 2 days, and I forget their names. I'm sorry. I got a lot of things going on. I'm sorry. Let's see. Clerk, Neil wanted to try some of those straps you use, right? So you have to be in arm wars. That's true. Neil, you pick me for arm wars, and I'll bring out some lion straps. I'll even bring you a couple. You keep yourself, man. You can have a good time with those straps. Toke Traveler says, yeah, RVJ for his body weight, just insanely strong. Way too strong. Yeah, RVJ is amazing. He's definitely a freak, genetic freak for sure. Daniel York posted the TAO link above, guys. Check that out when you get a chance for sure. Or you can put Chance Shaw in his place soon. Calvin Jones. Chance is my buddy. We go back and forth. I poke at him a lot. He wants me to compete more, which I understand. He wants me to get out there and kind of because Chance is going to a tournament like every weekend right now. He's out there, out and about, and he's taking down a lot of big names, and it's great for him. I have less flexibility than Chance as far as traveling goes, for sure. With my daughter and my job and things like that. But also, like, I've been in the one difference right now, which is why I'm not as active as Chance. I've been in the sport a lot longer than Chance, and I've flown around and I've experienced things. And like I said, I just got back from this Dubai, Turkey trip, and like I know what I need, and I'm so focused on getting to the top, to like that level, the Levon and that level, that I'm just trying to get as strong as I can to even get in that conversation. Chance is his approach, which isn't correct, is more like keep proving it, keep climbing the ladder, and I agree. I just want, by the time I start climbing the ladder, I guess you'd say, I want to be at a certain level that the ladder is like, oh shit, Derek should be there. Like that's the plan, right? So he's going rung by rung. I plan on kind of jumping up some rungs. And I know that's not the way most people do it, but I've been in sport a long time. It's not like I'm learning a ton. I don't need a ton more experience. I just need to triple down on strength and stuff right now, in my own opinion. So that's what I'm focusing on, which is really frustrating for Chance and to some people who want to see me compete more often. I get it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get as massive and strong as I can. Ruggo187 says, can you share the link of the straps you recommend? Yes, Daniel Urick can share the strap link again right now in the chat. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate it. Thank you. Derek versus Schoolboy. Derek all day long. Thanks, man. John Charlotte says, agree completely. 3 days a week for key strength areas for arm wrestling is a perfect amount, but that ultimately depends on the puller. Yes, it does. Benjamin McCabe, AW Gamer. Sup, Derek? Sup, people? Sup, Benjamin? Clerks93. Benjamin, you should come to practice on Sunday, man. It's going to be a good one. We have some visitors. It should be a good practice. Clerks93. Lachlan didn't want to pull Derek. No, that's not the case. Lachlan... He has there's a ton of travel restrictions, guys. Traveling out of Australia, especially out of where Lachlan's at, is a big deal. You have to come back and you have to quarantine for like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. He has a newborn baby. He has a job. Like, for him to miss that much work doesn't make a lot of sense. Especially where if we pull in Arm Wars, he's not going to be making any money. Doesn't make much sense. So it's nothing, as far as I know, specifically about pulling me, but more about like it just didn't make a lot of sense for him and his lifestyle right now. Let's see, Craig D. Does the best top roller beat the best hooker or best presser? Okay. Best top roller. We'll say, what, Vitale? Pure top roller. We'll say pure top roller versus like more pure hook puller. Best pure top roller, I would say Vitale. Who's the best pure hook puller? Is it Krasimir? Are we going to see that match pretty soon? As far as dedicated? Is it Hutchings? Is it... I don't know. It's a complicated question. I would say that an inside puller has more options. A dedicated shoulder forward puller, not only do they focus on cupping, which is probably the most important pressure, or maybe the second most important pressure, but the other most important pressure potentially would be side pressure, which is more of an inside puller's wheelhouse. Because if you're comfortable with a lot of side pressure, you can lose your wrist and you can still pull sideways and win. So if you're comfortable in that situation, you have the cup, the number one most important thing, and inside pullers focus on this more. And then you have side pressure, second most important thing at your disposal more. So I would think a hook puller would have more options. Yeah, off the top of my head. Raw Torque says, Derek, I'm not offended, man, the way you let stuff roll off your back. Thanks, man. I can't take this stuff too serious. I was a professional video game player for like 6 years, man. Online shit talking is like, I've been there. I've been to the trenches of online shit talking and bullying, and also if you read into this stuff too much, it's a bad day. It's bad. And that's why I was telling a lot of the older arm wrestlers that are getting into the YouTube game who read these comments and start freaking out. I'm like, guys, relax. Don't read into it too much. It's not going to change anything. Clerks93 says, Vitale versus Cataract. Dude, I want to see it. I want to see Vitale versus Cataract. I know everybody says Vitale will smoke him. If Jerry gets onto his move, Vitale's going to have a long day. Man K224 says, you need a super match with Robbie Burnett, TAL. man, pulling Robbie is a big step. But I definitely would. I would pull Robbie for sure. Last time he pulled, he beat me. But yeah, I'm definitely down to pull with Robbie. That guy's a beast. Nitron says, arm wrestling, Derek, in the next 12 months, what do you want to accomplish? 12 months. 12 months. I would like to, obviously I want to win my super match on September 4th against Tom Nelson, which will cement me as number one right-handed in California. And then I would like to start moving towards, I would like to start chipping away towards like top. I know I'm not in the rankings, and I don't want to offend anybody about this, but I'd definitely start moving towards like top 6, top 7 in the United States and chipping away at some of those wins. But at the same time, guys, I really want to pull internationally. In my mind, I don't need to become number one in North America in order to travel and pull internationally. I want to go pull Alex Kardecka. I want to go have some international matches. I love traveling. Hopefully COVID restrictions will allow me to go. But yeah, I think that's something that a lot of Americans don't actually know. I know for a fact Americans don't really do is travel. And if I have the capability to travel, for every once in a while, big traveling like that, then I want to do it. I want to go arm wrestle the top guy from Greece. I want to go arm wrestle, or a highly ranked guy from Turkey or something. I would love to travel, get out there, and try my hand in other parts of the world, and not just stay here, right? Do you think you can beat Michael Todd, buddy? Not today. Mike is still a beast. Actually, maybe today, right now, because I think he might still be beat up from those practices. But if Mike's 100% today, right now, then no. Let's see. Gary Roberts was the first trans in women's divisions. We've been giving Gary Roberts so much crap because he always calls out women and like little kids, and so we've been giving him a ton of crap because he, what was Uncle John called him like the first intergender champion or something like that because he's down to arm wrestle against women. Let's see. Wagner Bortolato versus Derek. Derek for the win. Oh man. So I'm assuming you mean left-handed. He is. Let's see. His style is more of my weaker style. I got a good hand. I might be able to take his hand, guys. I got a pretty good left hand. So maybe I'm down to find out. But a lot of respect for Wagner. That dude is the man. Jack Jesus, that guy is a beast. Either way, that sounds painful. He's all starts getting all crazy. So yeah. Romero's Romo, how old are you? I am 35. Daniel Yerk said 41. I'm not 41. How far in a percentage do you feel you're away from the top after traveling recently and meeting the world's elite? The thing about me traveling out there and gauging myself off of it is that when I went out there, I was the weakest I've been in years. I had just had COVID, and I, like weeks before I had COVID, I dropped a 100-pound dumbbell on my foot, so I couldn't walk. It was so many things leading up to that made that trip the weakest Derek. So the absolute weakest Derek that went out there, that's how I was gauging things, right? So everybody felt amazing, but there were some angles and some instances where I could slow people down when I got to use the straps and make it more arm to arm and stuff like that. But yeah, it's hard to read into that too much and try to form any solid opinions. But I do know that everybody's hand and wrist over there is absolute iron, right? I know that people overseas tend to value hand and wrist control more than people in North America who kind of go towards technique and getting stronger arms and flying into weird movements and things like that. Over there, hand control is massive in my experiences and from talking to people and stuff like that. So hand control. That's what I'm focusing on a lot. And still trying to get everything else strong. I'm still doing the curls and the bench and the shoulders and all that stuff. But yeah, if your hand and wrist aren't there, then you're not in the equation. If your hand and wrist are not there, guys, you cannot access everything else. It doesn't matter how big your biceps are, your chest. If you don't have the hand and wrist, you're not going to be able to access it at all. Ed Bedrosian in the house says, your workplace would be a fun venue for a tournament. I work at a strip club. It'll be 21 and over only for people to come hang out, and I don't know. It's pretty small in there. I don't think it'd be too good for a tournament. Grip says, I'm bulking up and suddenly dealing with sleep apnea, which takes its toll on my sleep quality. Is that something you've dealt with? Yeah, dude, sleep is getting rough. You guys, the bigger I get, the more I'm waking up in the middle of the night. Mouth's all dried out, like I'm waking up 5, 6, 7 times a night trying to get solid sleep. I just do the best I can to improve my sleeping conditions. Blacked out curtains, big bed, pillow top mattress. Like, I try to improve it the best I can, but that's just something that comes with being heavy is sleep apnea for sure. Joel Cagle says, always be cupping. True. Dylan Duoli at Twitter, Duali at Twitter says, artificial light can affect sleep cycle. Yes, it can. Ednis Garcia, what games did you play? I went to tournaments for Halo, and I was on the #1 Call of Duty team. There's a team called Envious. I was on the original 4 people on a team called Envious they play every game now, their organization. I was the original 4 for Envious, and then I was on different teams for Halo, but #1 team in the world at some point. Yeah. The Lonnie Smith says, the more haters you have, the more people hear about you. True. Derek versus Justin Major, TAL. Justin Major is a good buddy of mine. I don't know if he's training right now. I know he had some health issues. I don't know where he's at right now or training. I asked recently Evan Burgoyne about Justin Major, and my voice is cracked. I'm going through puberty, guys. Justin Major, I don't know if he's training right now. If he is, I hope Justin's doing well, and Justin will be a force for sure. Adam Chahoud says, Derek at Zloty, dream. That is a dream of mine. Since I've been in the sport, you always want to go to the tournament with the yellow shirts, right? That's definitely something I plan to travel to, especially once these travel restrictions lighten up. I want to go to Zloty. I want to wear a yellow shirt. I want to do my best, for sure. Sorry. Okay. Fell off. There are 2 North American giants. Yep. Taylor says, how useful would you rate grippers for arm wrestling? Just guessing, I'd say they're more useful for a beginner than less so as you get more experience. Grippers don't hurt, guys. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hinder you or make you bad at arm wrestling. When you squeeze a gripper as tightly as you can, people's wrists tend to go backwards. So you want to shy away from that in terms of, if you're doing grippers to complement your arm wrestling, to make you better at arm wrestling, then avoid your wrist going back. Try to keep it in your fingertips, like this, inside your fingers deep. There's certain things you would do to tailor it for arm wrestling. And grip can play a part. In certain angles and very specific situations, grip can definitely play a part. I get the 3.5. I'm like this far away from a 3.5. But the carryover isn't massive. I've done some grip tournaments and stuff like that. There's some situations like if I'm low hand top rolling somebody, low hand top rolling, you want them to grab you here. That's the goal. You want them to try to grab you low so you can bust open their bottom fingers. Well, sometimes people will grab you very low. They'll go knuckles up and they'll grab you, you're trying to get them to grab you here, but they'll grab you like this. Well, if you grip tightly enough, you can slide, you can wrist curl in and grip tightly enough to slide them down your hand and then roll them out. So there's some situations, some small situations where a solid grip can actually help things move forward. But there's not a ton of them, right? There's more specific situations. Okay. Where was I? I was almost there. Okay. Derek and WAL. Yes, if they hit me up, I would for sure think about it. Clerks 93, Derek versus FA. I pulled FA when I was out there, but like I said, I was super weak. I would love to pull with him feeling fresh. I know he looked amazing and he did really good against Herman Stevens. But I'd love to pull him again fresh. There was no cameras on when me and him pulled, and he beat me most of the time. But I was able to sink in a hook and do some stuff with him left-handed once I got past his hand. So I'd love to find out me feeling strong pulling against FA. Dave Anderson, Gary is fun to annoy. Ill shots. Before Dubai, was there a last time you traveled, and how long ago was it? Before Dubai, last time I traveled. Crap, I can't remember. That was a while ago. I don't remember where I went before Dubai. I don't know. I mean, it was definitely in the United States. The last thing I did internationally before Dubai would have been a couple years ago in 2017 when I went to Budapest, and I did the WAF. I think that was the last international travel I went. Or I went to Mexico down for practice. I guess that's international. But other than that, it was in the United States. I don't remember. I don't remember, man, which was my last trip. Joe Cagle says, who do you see as the top 3 most technically proficient super heavyweights in North America right now? Ooh, technically proficient. I like that question. That's a good question. So that means people that aren't just big, brute, strong dudes, guys that can make adjustments and maneuver around. Obviously, you have Devin. He'll obviously be number 1. I don't want to offend people with this. Let's see, that's the thing. For super heavyweights, they tend to stick to one move. Let me think of the list. I'm trying to think of the top, 10 list, and versatile guys within the top 10 list, guys that are down to go in, down to go out, down to go wherever. There's not a lot, guys. There's not a lot of versatile pullers out there in super heavyweights. Man. Oh, holy crap. You guys, I don't know. I would really have to think about that. Off the top of my head, I don't even know. You guys, give me some opinions. What you guys think? Versatile top pullers, super heavyweights. Versatile. Guys that can do in, out, and all around. I'm interested to hear your guys' opinion. I believe I can right-handed I have in or out. But I know there's people between me and Devin, I think, that can go in or out. I'm just trying to think of the names. Spencer Doucette says, hey, boys. Oh, there he goes. Botter in the house. Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Botter, thanks for tuning in, bud. I miss you, man. I hope you're doing well out there. Hope everything's good for you and your family. Hope everything's going well. Hope your grip is coming along. I closed the 3 in here. I have it's in the house. But I closed the 3, and a few times. Like, I was able to look at it, and then the 3.5, I got pretty close. But I bought a 3.5. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it. 3.5. So I bought a 3.5. I'm gonna mess with it every once in a while, but yeah, dude, I'm chipping away at the grip. Butter. Craig D, do the top 5 Canadian arm wrestlers beat the top 5 USA now? Okay. Top 5 Canadian arm wrestlers. Who is it? It's like Devin, Matt, Ryan Espy, Brandon? Is Brandon Lemon Mulvihill in there? I think he says he is. And then I think United States is a little deeper. I think they're a little deeper than Canada, in my opinion. But I'm partial. There we go. I'm biased, obviously. So I would think USA would take it overall. Did you watch Michael Todd's new vid with RVJ? Very cool stuff. Yes, I did. Have you kept with Halo Infinite release? It's looking spicy. Not really that much. I'll play it, though, because it's going to be free. Super chat came in from Bishop Arm Wrestling, $5. Do a 3.5 attempt live. No, not right now. I would. I really would. And thanks for the super chat, man. One, I'm not warmed up. I don't have any other grippers in here. And 2, my arm is just healing up right now. If I start doing heavy gripping, it's going to light my arm up again. And it's just healing up from this last practice. So I won't be doing it right now because it'll set me back. But next time I do one, I'll give you a shout out, man, and I'll do it in a video. I did it live on Discord when I first tried it, but yeah, not right now. Only because it'll jack up my arm, and my training is really important to me right now, so I don't want to light it back up. Sorry about that, man. Craig D, invest in a CPAP machine for sleep apnea. My dad's health is 1,000 times better and swears by it. Check that out, man. I wonder how expensive are CPAP machines. Lloyd Christmas, is the dog okay after last night? Rami Mage says, what are the forearm and bicep measurements? Last time I measured, when I was at Michael Todd's house, we measured the bicep, and it was, I think pumped, it was 21, and then forearms pumped were 18, I believe, for right hand. Can you talk a bit about hooking setup if you have a short arm? What have I seen from Rustam? He never caps, and he is good at getting into a hook. Short arm hooking setup. The great thing about short arm is that you can always go vertical. You can have your arms straight up when I have to always have my arms slanted. But I think short arms, it's better for dragging. Putting more emphasis on a dragging style of hook, because you can get tighter into your body than a long arm person can, right? So emphasizing tightness after the go is big. Now, short arm, you didn't specify whether it's a big hand or a little hand. We'll say medium hand. You need to after you secure your cup, however you do it, whether you're moving forward or you have enough wrist control where you can just cup straight and bring them in, is kind of a big deciding factor in how you're going to sink in your hook. But either way, I think a big thing in regards to setting up with a short arm is preparing to drag and bring your elbow back as tight as you can so you can stay tight. And then starting with a push-pass method. You guys, starting deep towards a person, pushing your hand towards them is big in any kind of inside pulling style, right? So I would focus on that. And once you get in there, then you start focusing on the ABCs of arm wrestling, man. Targeting their certain joints and things like that. Dave Anderson says, LOL. Barbarian Arm Wrestling. Hi, Derek. After we helped you to Dubai, what would be another country you would like to tour for arm wrestling? Oh, man. So many. I don't know. That's so many places I want to go. I really want to go to Vietnam. I have my buddy Ha is out there. I really want to go out there, and those guys have some amazing arm wrestlers. Obviously, not a lot of super heavyweights, but their lighter weight guys are really good, really crisp and fast, and I think they have a lot to offer. And they have a great community, it looks like, out there. I want to go. The UK would be cool. My buddy Alan Guerra's out there, and obviously Neil and all those guys are out there. I've always wanted to go to Japan, and if I go out there, I definitely want to arm wrestle some guys out there. I know I'm picking countries with smaller guys, so I'll feel really, really big and strong. But I don't know, anywhere, man, anywhere. I'm not a hater. Anywhere would be fun to fly out and check out the country and stuff like that, and see how everybody pulls out there and what they focus on. I would love to travel. The stuff Devin's done, man, I'm such a fan of it. Such a fan. Kane Fontecchio, my teammate Kane in the chat. What's up, Kane? Thanks for coming in, bud. What's your favorite exercise to help condition elbows the rest of the week when not table training? So the what's his name? Dimitri Trubin swore by that he would take a martial arts belt, right? And he would attach it to something rock solid. And after each workout, he would do 30-second isometric holds, pulling against like a brick wall, basically, with a belt around the side of his hand, pulling that way, or just straight sideways, right? So he would plant his elbow on a table or something like that, and just start leaning and start driving downwards with a belt right here. So no give, it wouldn't be stretchy at all. It's not a resistance band, it's an actual belt or like a rope or like a chain, something rock solid, right? And just start leaning with his shoulder. Now guys, before anybody gets on my case, this is very dangerous. This is very arm breaky stuff, right? If you continue to slide your elbow forward while you're leaning, then it's gonna hit your elbow really, really hard. But it's also a very arm breaky angle. And if you guys are amateurs at all and you're not careful and you don't know what you're doing, you could really, really hurt yourself trying that. So I don't really tell people about that too much. But Dimitri Trubin would do that after each workout. He would do posting one, and he would do like a side pressure one with just against a wall, right? And just lean and kind of stretch out his elbow. So you guys, if you're new, don't try this. Just continue to arm wrestle. And practice will do you just fine. But yeah, that's how Dimitri Trubin did it. And I've tried it. It doesn't replicate arm wrestling as well, but it is something for sure. Clerks93 says, I still can't close a COC too. They're rough, man. They're rough. The Captains of Crush grippers are not easy things to do. What do you think of Travis' advice to tilt your hand back a bit, especially in a ref's grip? Because when you close, because when you close your fist, I notice your arm instinctively drives upwards. You're talking about kicking back when they're getting the grip. Yeah, that's a style in regards to outside arm wrestling, for sure. Remember, when Travis gives advice, he pretty much gives advice like 90% into Travis's move. And he says that at the beginning of all his seminars. I can't teach you guys how to arm wrestle, but I can tell you how I arm wrestle, is what he says. So all his stuff is based off of his move of bending back so you can't get a good grip on him, and then firing backwards. So that's definitely, if you're focusing on the same thing as Travis is focusing on, then that's definitely an aspect that can help people get off your hand so they don't have as good a coverage on your hand. Tube Culture in the house says, hello, what's going on, bud? I watched some more of your video you posted on Instagram. I have some comments on it, but we'll talk about that later. Craig D, does pinching strength, i.e. holding weighted plates together, have any carryover benefits for arm wrestling? Pinching strength is a big thumb driving style of grip training, guys. So because you have 4 fingers on one side and your thumb on the other. Thumb drive can play a big part in pronation into people's hands and really opening their hand up. So I think thumb drive is good. I think thumb drive, having a fatter thumb makes it harder for them to grip you anyway. So yeah, I think pinch grip definitely has some carryover. Also, you're putting flat pressure with your fingers, which is more like arm wrestling, right? Let's see. Tube Culture says, when you beat Tom Nelson, you can kiss your natty card goodbye because you're going straight into his naughty list. That's true. Once I beat Tom, I'm for sure steroid guy, for sure. Let's see. Arm Wrestling Mania says, what's up, brother? What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Craig D says, how are the ladies in Dubai? I don't know. Well, ladies generally internationally are beautiful compared to a lot of American women, only because most American women are severely overweight. because we eat like shit here. So when I went everywhere I've traveled, man, I've been like, oh my gosh, the ladies are beautiful because there's hardly any fat people anywhere. I don't think technically proficient equals versatile. I don't think technically proficient equals versatile. Technically proficient. Proficient in techniques. Yeah, I mean, unless he's talking about proficient in one technique, like inside pulling, proficient in inside pulling. But I imagine that he's talking about being proficient in all techniques. So that would mean versatile. People, for example, Travis is very technical in terms of variations within one move. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like cerebral in their approach to like what they do and the small adjustments and things like that, then yeah, that's one thing. And a lot of people know their move and are able to adjust their move really well. But if you're talking about like well-roundedness, I guess it depends. I guess it depends. If you're talking about being well-rounded, that's super rare. If you're talking about just knowing your one move and making small adjustments for it, and in order to get your one move off, then that's different. Marcy Barbosa, there you go. That's someone that's more versatile. Craig D says, what do you think of Chance saying he's trying to gain weight by eating lots of gummy bears? LOL. Dude, he's just saying that type of crap, just like Devin's saying, it's all pancakes. Just, putting crap out there. Let's see. Botter in here says, thanks, bro. Miss you too, and well done on the 3.5 monster grip. Oh, no, I haven't. I didn't close 3.5. I tried it. It got kind of close. Hopefully I'll get it. Just putting you on the spot big time, man. No problem. Clerks93 says, can Khaled close the 4? Okay, so that's Botter from, you guys, the guy in the chat. That's Botter from Larry's channel, right? The one that's always hanging with Khaled, that's who's in the chat right there. That's my boy. Blake says, your insurance, if you have it, we'll cover it most of the time. Let's see. What's up from Texas, Arm Wrestling Mania? What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Taylor Clark Heck says, you got a Discord server? I'm in the Arm Wrestling Discord server all the time. You guys, so there's two Discord servers for arm wrestling. There's Polar Public, and there's one that just says arm wrestling. I'm in the one that says arm wrestling. Smash that like, peeps, from Raw Torque. Yeah, where are we at? 59 likes, 63 people. What's going on here? Another super chat. $5 super chat from Bicep Arm Wrestling. You versus Tom Nelson in the most exciting match this year. Do you think a loss could impact you, either of you, badly due to stakes, ego, local drama? If I lose to Tom in a super match, right? A super match is a pretty well-rounded approach, meaning I think I have options inside, outside, right-handed. So if I lose a super match to Tom, that means I probably tried inside and outside. And he just beat me, all things considered, right? If I lose that super match right-handed to Tom, yeah, ego-wise, it would be kind of damaging. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I put a lot of training in, and I'm really strong, and the peak form I've ever been in. It would definitely mean I need to take a step back and reapproach what I'm doing and how I'm pursuing things and how everything's going. Local drama, yeah, I guess in regards to that, yeah, maybe a little bit. Stakes, if we get our match staked from Devin, you get paid either way, just as long as people buy your block. So yeah, I mean, I guess that would affect me if I lose to Tom. I appreciate the vote of confidence on that being an exciting match. I think it will be. I'm definitely pretty strong right now, and I have a lot of confidence in my strength. So yeah, man, that would be a little rough. I'm not really thinking about me losing right now, though. So I don't know. Thomas Emilio Silva Burger. Derek, you should make so in-depth video about hooking, top roll. Like not the 101, but the expert videos. You would get so many views with your ease to explain. So that's the thing, right? The reason the series is, if I did that, I've thought about it. Believe me, I've thought about putting out videos, like intricate advice, like higher level advice, but it's so specific. You guys, once you pass the beginner advice, then it starts getting into like, if you want to go to higher level, like top rolling advice, then it's really a one-on-one thing because there's so many variations and so many variables in each thing, right? So it would have to be small arm, small hand, top rolling versus inside polar series. Big hand, small arm, top posting top roll against hooker series. Like it would have to be really specific. That's the thing. If I just give out bland advice, then I sound like an idiot to myself. So you go like the way Devin goes and just give out real philosophical overlooks on arm wrestling. Like in general, these things are important, and so that's good. It's right. It's true. There's generally important things in all of arm wrestling. But when you start getting really specific with it, it's hard, man. Because then suddenly, I'll say, this is how you top roll a guy with a small hand. And then someone will be like, well, what if you have, the smallest forearm ever? I'll be like, well, okay, then it's different for you. Like, it just keeps getting different for each person. That's why it's hard to give out that kind of advice unless you're one-on-one with somebody and helping them fix their problems. So general advice is easier when you're giving out, like, newbie advice. Right? That's why when I watch people try and they give out this really professional level, high caliber advice, it's like, dude, I can prove you wrong 100 ways in what you just said. I get what he's saying. It's not that it's incorrect. It's that there's so many variables, dude. What if the guy does this first? What if the guy does that first? What if the guy grips first before he goes sideways? What if he goes sideways before he grips? What if, dude, it gets really intricate. So that's why I don't do all that yet. But, I plan on doing some video breakdowns, especially when I get all my new setup, doing some match breakdowns and really explaining what's going on and why. I know some of the other guys do it, but I think I could do it better. So hopefully I have some good content for you guys in regards to that. And if you want, you can send me some videos, and I'm always down to watch your guys' videos that you send me on anywhere, on Instagram, on Discord, anywhere. Send me video clips of you guys arm wrestling, and I'll give you my full opinion on why you lost and what, in my opinion, what I see you might be doing that you could correct and help you guys grow on an individual level. No problem. Devin showed off his hammer today. Unreal, I know. The thing is, it's cool, man. One day I'd like to get that hammer. Benjamin says, Japan's a great country to travel to. Yeah, dude, it seems awesome. Let's see. Derek, have you ever heard about a game called Sekiro? No, I have not. James Masterson in the house. Mate, most women in UK aren't hot, but some are off the charts, whereas US girls are all smoking. No way, dude. US girls you see on social media maybe, but you walk the streets, whew, not so much, bro. Halo TV says, what's up from Arizona? Ready to see you down here in August. Yes, sir. Should be a good time. I'll be pulling left-handed at that tournament. Let's see. Ragnar Bortolato versus Derek. Let's do it. Did you practice arm wrestling with Vitale? Did he feel beatable? Vitale had a really big hand. We didn't really practice arm wrestling. We gripped up at the end of my Dubai trip after I've been arm wrestling every day. Not that I could beat him if I was fresh, but it was just way, way, way too much for me at that point, and I couldn't really rate myself. So no, he did not feel beatable in that moment. A loss might Bishop Arm Wrestling says, a loss might not mean your training approach is faulty, though, right? Would you tell one of your students they should take a step back and reevaluate everything if they lost a super match? No, but at this point, I have traveled so much and I've put so much into understanding training approaches and what works for me and feeling all these gains, and I have felt all these gains and stuff, that if with this much time to prep and all this stuff going into this match, if I lose this, depending on how and why I lose it, it would definitely need to reapproach or take back and look at why I lost. But honestly, yeah, if you lost a serious match that you've been prepping for months, 4 or 5 months, and you lose, then yeah, I would tell people to take a step back and reevaluate what they've been doing. If you just dismiss it and keep moving forward and not evaluate what went wrong, then you're not going to grow from it. Yeah, so yeah, I would tell my guys to reevaluate things if they lost a super match, a serious super match, not like a practice match, but a serious super match. Yeah, you should evaluate things and reapproach and see what went wrong and what we could tweak. Dave Anderson says California babes were awesome in the 80s. Still Free 47 says, I'm here, Derek. What's up? Thanks for coming in, bud. I appreciate you. Thomas Emilio Silva Ebensberger says, yes, man, athletes breakdown. Giannis and Ray started doing them, but stopped. If there's a chance to talk to you anytime and talk about arm wrestling, it'd be an honor. I am an arm wrestling nerd. Greetings from Chile. Thanks for coming in here, man. Yeah, find me on Discord. Find me on what's it called? Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and shoot me a message. I'm very accessible. Yvonne in here. When and where your match versus Kardeka is gonna be? I don't know, man. If it has to be in Poland, I'll fly to Poland. We could do it there. Me and Big Alex. He agreed to arm wrestle me. I know he wants to do it on like a big stage and get something out of it, of course. But if need be, dude, I want to go to Poland. I've never been there anyway. So I would fly out there and arm wrestle him at his own gym if I need to. But yeah. Ogunshai Rosen, hopefully I pronounced that right, says, do you think Levon is beatable, Derek? Yes, everybody's beatable, for sure. You just have to have a certain skill set and enough strength. James Masterson says, big fan, Derek. I think you might need to tell your audience that it's coming home. Football's coming home. Huh? I'm not getting the reference. Have you seen the RVJ versus Todd practice poll? Yes. Saw it. RVJ looks great. Craig D, is your match with Tom going to be on YouTube, your channel? How can we watch? So check this out. Somehow on this topic, so Kyle DePue is the one promoting this event. This is Kyle DePue's event at Kyle DePue's gym. Kyle DePue is the one putting it on. And Kyle DePue is having Chance Shaw stream my super match on Chance Shaw's channel. I'm not a hater, whatever. But still, what? How is my match going to be on Chance Shaw's channel? This is crazy. Maybe I'll just set up my camera in the back for my match. You guys can watch it live on my channel. My match, at least. It's crazy. What? How am I not going to get my own match on my channel? Wild. He didn't say I can't, but still, he gave it a chance. So we're gonna talk about this a little bit more. I'm not dropping it. What's the date and time for Fatal 4-Way? That's this Saturday. I don't know the details, though. But I know it's this Saturday. He means soccer, the Euro Cup. England's in the final. Oh, see? Sorry. I don't follow it. I don't follow football. Second goat after Berzink, of course, is Ingen, Zoloev, Rustam, other. After Berzink, man. The contention, I would say Ingen is in there in the list. Devin in the list. Zoloev has to be. Yeah, those guys are all on the list for sure. I think you can beat Levon, Derek. Not right now, but eventually. That's the plan. It's coming home to Italy, says Yvonne. Oh man, here we go. Bishop Arm Wrestling said, he erased it. Arm Wrestling Media says, hell yeah, brother, definitely would rather watch it on your channel. Yeah, I know, right? How's Chance going to get my match on his channel? It's crazy. Because he's best friends with Kyle DePue, so he gave him the opportunity. Where we at? 87 minutes. 87 minutes. Uncle John's going to go live at 6 o'clock. Wait, you're not Yvonne? Wow. I thought that was Yvonne. The picture looks the same as Yvonne. No. Sorry, man. Did not know that. What's up from Kentucky, says Darren Fentress. What's going on, man? Kentucky. That's where Wes Bjornson's at. So Wes is going to be flying out here to my house pretty soon. Bishop says, love the advice. I'm just thinking theoretically here. Your training might be the best fit even if you lose the match. Shouldn't you judge your progress more objectively like Bob Brown does? No, but I'm saying, like, I'm smart enough now where I'll know why I lost the match. If I lose the match because muscles are failing and I'm not as strong as I would like to be, then I would reapproach my training regimen, my lifting, my strength levels. If I lose due to technical errors, like I'm not tight enough, I didn't target the fingertips enough or whatever the thing is, then I would kind of reapproach my top roll or my hook and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely think it's important to always reevaluate like how you performed and grow from it. Have you ever tried the King's move and would you ever use it? I joked around with it in practice a couple times. It hurts my arm, so no, I wouldn't really put too much into it. Derek assumes every... No, that's not true. I thought it was Yvonne, dude. It looked like Yvonne. It looked like, on first glance, it looked like his picture, and I can't read the name. Derek, have you pulled Nelson in the past? And if so, what's your record against him? My very first time ever entering pro bracket or like open bracket. So I did amateur. I did a few tournaments of amateur, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start entering amateur and pro. And so the first time I ever did that, my very first match in pro bracket was Tom Nelson. So I don't know, what was that, 9 years ago or 10 years ago? And he beat me, obviously. He was number 1 in California at the time, and it was my first time ever pulling pro, and he beat me. So he is up 1-0. Besides that, we have never gripped up. We have never pulled on a practice table. Me and Tom Nelson have never pulled besides that. That was a long time ago. So that's where we're at. That's why every time me and Tom interact, you see him post 1-0, because our record is 1-0. That asshole. Do push-ups, bro. Yeah, push-ups aren't bad. It hurts my wrists. I have to do push-ups on the push-up bars. Getting my wrist flat like that really kills. That's as far as it goes back right now, without me like forcing it back. That's as far as my hand goes back. It used to go back really flat, but it doesn't really do that anymore. Derek, what's your best arm wrestling win to date? I don't know. I beat Ron Bath like a month ago. We'll go with that one. Or I beat Abo, and that got me ranked top 10 left-handed. Maybe that one. I don't know. I beat Todd Hutchings before. I don't know. The Ron Bath one. We'll say the most current one, although Ron was tired though, so. But, yeah. Derek, why do in the Monster Michael Todd versus RVJ vid, RVJ and Devin, both of them did a pinch grip to stop Michael's pronation? Is it much more effective? I believe that if you have enough rise to get outside of Michael's hand, and if you have to basically decide how much do you need to put into Mike's hand to bust his hand back. Now, if you have to put everything into it, then it's going to be hard because you're going to be so far up into his fingertips to bust his hand back that you won't be able to grip anywhere near his wrist to really try to use your cupping against his pronation, right? Because you'll be so far up. So Devin in their super match, and apparently RVJ, in a practice match, guys, RVJ is able to go high enough where he can get Mike's wrist back, but also still have a low enough grip where his cupping can target Mike's pronation. And so therefore his side pressure is more amplified, right? He can apply more side pressure because his cupping is targeting Mike's pronation. You understand what I'm saying? Because his cup will be around here, so he can target Mike's rotation in his wrist by cupping, right? So it's a balance. How much do you need to put into Mike's wrist to bust it back while hopefully still having a good enough grip to target the pronation, right? But yeah. Derek, when are we going to see you crush some arms, work on your hands, crush some arms, work on your hand strength? You mean like at practice, or you mean like in competition? Because in competition, August 6th, 7th, I'll be in Arizona competing left-handed, and I have my super match September 4th, right-handed. After that, I don't have any plans right now. We'll see how it all goes. Michael Todd was under the table versus RVJ in practice, LOL. In competition. Yeah, competition, that'll be August 6th, 7th, left-handed, which... Apparently this left arm is really good, guys. I hate my left arm. Those of you guys that follow me closely know that I'm right-handed, but the left arm just does really good. It's strong, really strong in certain directions, and it's generally pretty healthy. I do have an inner elbow injury, but besides that, everything else is good to go. So it does pretty well recently. And it really depends on who I arm wrestle left-handed. If you arm wrestle me in a certain style, I'm really good. I should be top 5. But if you arm wrestle me in another style, I might lose the guys that are ranked like 18th. So, is practice at church or your place? Practice this weekend will be at my grandma's house. Grandma's house in the back. Well, you can be coming to Chicago to pull. I've been to Chicago in a long time. I would love to. I mean, Chicago. Who's out there? Who's out in Chicago right now? Pullers. What pullers are in Chicago? Is that oh, the big guy. The big is, oh my gosh. Brain fart right now. Oh my God. He's going to kill me. What's his, really big dude in Chicago. I think he's in Chicago. Who the top 10 right hand in U.S. There's a rankings, you guys. Go to the most common rankings that North American follow. Oh, Pavlo's in Chicago. Okay. And there was another guy, though, I thought. Anyway. Top 10 rankings, you guys go to In the Hook rankings. So on Facebook, that's where it's located at. On the search bar, type in the Hook rankings, and you'll see it updated. That's the most common. That's the old school rankings that have been going on for years and years and years. Chance Shaw currently runs it with some other people, but in the Hook rankings, it has the top 20 list in North America, right and left-handed in each weight class. Armfighter.com, within the last, I think they started a year or two ago, they started their own rankings. So they have a top 15 list on armfighter.com. Yeah, that's where you find the top 10 rankings. I can't spew out a top 10 ranking off the top of my head for North America right now. But those rankings are pretty accurate. Those rankings are pretty accurate for sure. But Robbie Burnett got taken off the Supers rankings because he's trying to lose weight. I think I could be on there, but I haven't competed against the guys that are ranked recently. So a lot of the ranked guys are on the East Coast. So right-handed, especially in the Supers, trying to get ranked right-handed in Supers is rough because all the ranked guys right-handed in Supers are on the East Coast of the United States or East Coast of North America. So I don't come across them often. At local tournaments, I don't see them. We have some lefties. We have some high-ranking lefties over here, but right-handed, I never see ranked guys, rarely or barely. So you got to kind of go east in order to find, or I got to fly over there to find the ranked right-handed guys. So it is how it is. Let's see how strong you are. Do some push-ups. Why do people want me to do push-ups right now? I can do push-ups, guys. I don't know how many I can do. I can definitely do push-ups, but it's gonna hurt my wrists. And it's like I just said. What's his name wanted me to do the heavy grippers. I'm not gonna light my arm up doing push-ups right now. It's just healing up so I can start lifting. 30. I wonder maybe I can do 30. I don't know. I haven't done push-ups. Oh, I lost connection for a second. What the hell? What are your left-handed rankings for North America? Maybe top 3 to 5. Left-handed, Cody Merritt is number 1. We're trying to set up a Cody Merritt and Devin match, but I think Devin is like number 3. Ryan Espy is up there. Dave Chafee is up there. Yeah, those guys are up there, lefty. After that, I mean, Robbie Toby's like 5th, I believe. Yeah, I want to beat Robbie Toby lefty again. I beat him once, but he was tired at a tournament. And then we just pulled at this last Nevada one, and I flattened out his wrist. It wasn't bent back all the way, but I flattened it out a little bit. But then he's so connected in here, lefty, he's able to drive sideways and open my arm up, and I lost. But it's not too far. Brendan Daniel says, SB claims he has a healthy winning record on Cody, but I guess based on recent results, giving Merritt number 1 is fair. Go out, brother. Thanks, Arm Wrestling Mania, for tuning in, man. Yeah, dude, Cody Merritt, guys, hasn't been pinned left-handed in like 2 years. So for anybody to say Cody's not like at that crazy level is ridiculous. Cody versus Devin match really needs to happen for sure. Or, I mean, Cody and Ryan Espy would be a cool match to see too. But yeah, I really would love to see Cody and Devin. I want to see that match because Cody's my boy and he's so strong. And he's so nice and he doesn't have a big social media presence, so people just overlook him all the time. In a defensive top roll, is side pressure as important as back pressure? No. In a defensive top roll, if you're applying more side pressure than back pressure in a defensive top roll, that means you're top rolling into the guy's cupping and palm. So no, defensive, that means the guy's already hit you, you're on defense, and you're top rolling. Top rolling means you need to be having substantial back pressure to target his hand and wrist. So back pressure would be bigger on a defensive top roll, for sure. Side pressure is more of side pressure in general, guys, is more of a pinning pressure, right? So side pressure is your ability to use your rotator cuff to do internal rotation like this, and your ability to slide your elbow, which is your pec, right? Like doing a pec fly. So you use side pressure generally the most in offense when you're trying to pin, when you start driving towards your pin pad. You don't use a ton of side pressure on defense. It's generally more posting, more elbow flexor, more hand rotation than sideways. Ingen Terzi's top roll, active cup and static pronation with side pressure seems to be the way to go more than pure back pressure. But it depends. He said on defense, not offense. He's saying on defense. So defense would mean the guy was already offensive and you're probably trying to play catch up on defense. So yeah. But you're talking about from a ready go, then it's a different conversation. But it's so different, right? So I understand completely what you're saying about Ingen's approach. a cup in static pronation with side pressure by gripping in the middle of the hand. It's more of a controlled style of top roll, but it's not always the most efficient in terms of targeting the hand and wrist, right? Devin would beat Travis left hand. But yeah, right now, you guys, we can't even talk about Travis Bagent, and it's all what ifs with Travis. I love Travis to death, but it's all what ifs. Yep, for me, I was asking defense, winning center, but towards my own pin pad. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Ingen. Ingen Tersey's awesome. He's one of my favorite dudes. I love Ingen. He's one of the only guy I've ever paid to coach me, and I would again. Didn't regret it at all. I was sending him $50 a month for 2 months, and he coached me online. I think I was one of his first online students. But Ingen's great, dude. Great guy. I know everybody gives him shit because he has a temper, but other than that, Ingen's fantastic guy. A lot of love for that guy. I would love to go back out to Turkey and to train with Ingen. Actually, instead of like going to the competition, just go out there and stay in his hometown and just train with him. I would love that. If something ever happened and like I had a few months open up and I was making enough money, maybe online or something like that, where I could swing it, that's where I'd go. Brandon Daniel says, Thomas Tank Ingen, are you talking about a swing or reverse hit top roll? What the hell is a swinging reverse hit top roll? You guys, you're making arm wrestling way too complicated. Arm wrestling is inside and outside pressures, and then in each individual move, you have to target certain things. But having these weird names, swinging, reverse, flying, defensive, posting, top roll, with emphasis on bottom finger cupping and pronation, it's a lot. Tube card, sure. High knuckle, sideways, swing, defensive, can opener, top roll. Oh, that one. Swinging is Devin's name for it. Reverse is Bob Brown's name for it. You're talking about getting into people's fingertips, guys. As a top roller, this is something. Okay, check this out, you guys. Let's get a little technical. You guys can see my sweaty shirt now. Let's talk. I'm going to teach you all something about top rolling. Okay. Look at my sweatiness. Okay, so when it comes to top rolling and targeting somebody's fingers, emphasis on attacking their fingertips. Sorry, I can't really read the chat right now, guys, so I'm not going to be answering questions right now, but we're going to talk about top rolling for a second. Emphasis on getting into the person's fingertips is super high, right? You have to target, especially the stronger they are, and the more that you are worried about their cupping, the more you're worried about their ability to wrist curl, and like the more respect you have for their wrist, the more emphasis you need to put on fingertips and targeting their fingertips, their fingernails, not just their fingers, the fingertips, right? So once you start, if I'm top rolling someone like Denis Saplekov, right? For instance, say I somehow get a match with Denis Saplekov, and I'm top rolling this dude, right? Then I'm going to be obsessed on where his fingertips are placed on my hand and how I can get pressure into those fingertips. So in order to do that, I might consciously run backwards, literally push backwards towards my own pin pad in order to put pressure into their fingertips and go forward in order to get them off the back of my hand. So say they have a tight grip like this, I'm going knuckles up, I push forward to get them to slide off the back of my hand, and then I carve underneath in order to hit their fingertips. Now, in order to do this, in order to target fingertips, I'm going to be going backwards. So offense is that way, me pinning the guy is this way, but in order to hit his fingertips, I'm going to have to go backwards to establish it. Now, when I go backwards to hit their fingertips, my elbow, you'll notice my elbow is sliding backwards to get it. Right? And this is against the more you respect the guy's hand, the more you do this. You would reverse or swing or whatever you want to call it, you would be flying backwards into the guy's fingertips. Now, say you crack the guy's hand. He's putting down pressure, right when he's about to try to pin, his wrist folds. Boom, I got his hand. Now from here, my elbow is out. My side pressure has been given up in order to target the guy's fingertips, right? Because I went backwards on purpose. So I crack his hand. Well, now I'm thinking I got to pin the guy, but now I over-rotated the guy or I have his wrist, so it's hard to pin. It's hard to slide your elbow and start being offensive. So you gave up offense in order to take the guy's hand. That's the sacrifice you made. In order to take the guy's hand, you gave up a bunch of driving ability that way. I gave up my chest. I gave up a lot of my shoulder, and I flew backwards intentionally just to take the guy's hand. Now, taking him back this way is the next fight, right? It's about where your elbow is placed, because your elbow is side pressure. Where's your elbow once you took his hand? Where are you at inside your shoulders once you took his hand? Are you way out here to take his hand? Or was I down here to take his hand, right? With my elbow tucked in. So you have to find out what you sacrificed in order to take that guy's hand. How far did you fly out to take his hand? Now, there'll be some instances where, say, I'm not as scared of this guy's hand. Say that when I grip up with this dude, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bust his hand back. So instead of me sacrificing all this stuff to take his hand, I'll keep my elbow in, right? I'll be in the middle of the pad, which will have my pec, my chest will be enacted. I'll be using my chest now. So now that my chest is enacted, my chest is a big driving ability. It's a big driver for side pressure. It's big at getting them outside of their shoulder. So if I could take your hand center table without having to fly into your fingertips really hard, because I'm not so afraid of you, now I have way more access to my offense, way more access to fly sideways and to bury you towards the pin pad, right? So I don't have to give up as much offense because your hand and wrist aren't as strong. So I won't have to give up so much in order to be offensive on an outside style. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Is this making sense? Let me know, you guys, give me a thumbs up or something if this is making sense. I'm trying to explain it as simply as I can about what you have to sacrifice in order to get things, right? Can I get a thumbs up if that makes sense? Great. Cool. So, yeah, you want to give up certain things. So when I you'll see some of my guys, if you saw me arm wrestle Denis Saplenkov, when they say go, I am going to be flying backwards to try to get into his fingertips. I will be putting everything I can backwards towards my own pin pad to try to get into his fingertips, because if I don't get into his fingertips, I'm screwed. If I go anywhere near his palm or down here, there's no way I can bust that hand back, right? So you put a lot of pressure purposefully into the guy's fingertips to crack it. It's very important on what you're giving up in terms of outside pulling, right? So I have a match on my Instagram. If you guys get bored, go check it out. It's a match where I'm pulling Robbie Topi. Go to my Instagram. It's AW Derek. I'm not just doing this so you'll follow me. I don't care if you do. But go to my Instagram. You'll see a match, me versus Robbie Topi. It's probably about halfway down, and it's an old one. Now in the first round, I go knuckles up against Robbie, and it's left-handed. And I get him off the back of my hand. I punch that way, and I crack his wrist. Now in arm wrestling, once you crack someone's wrist, think about it like this: someone that's trying to cup you, if you crack their wrist back, however you do it, think of their wrist like a bottle cap. Like a bottle cap on a soda or a beer. Once it's busted off, once that bottle cap is removed, it's never quite as tight, right? So this is all in regards to like one match. Within this one match, while we're at the table together, if I crack your wrist back one time, it's gonna be weaker the rest of this match. No matter how many fouls we get and ready goes, your wrist is gonna be weaker. We'll say it loses about 15 to 20% of its strength once it's cracked. Once you're giving everything and I bust that wrist back against your will, it loses 15 to 20% of its strength, right? And I know that. So sometimes people, Devin's done this, a lot of people will put everything into busting dude's wrist back. Just every single thing you can, which I do in this match I'm talking about on my Instagram. I put everything I could into busting his wrist back, and right before I'm about to get pinned, I get it. And I'm way out of position. My elbow's opened up, everything's open, and I barely crack his wrist. Now once I crack his wrist, he's so strong lefty, I couldn't bring him back across the table. But I took his wrist, which was the hard thing. That was the important thing. I cracked that bottle, right? The bottle cap. So once I realized I couldn't bring him back, he started pushing, and he was gonna like flop press me and take me and pin me. When I start losing, and this is a pro tip, guys, right when I can feel my muscles failing. At this point, I can feel my brachialis failing, my brachioradialis, and all this stuff. I can feel it draining, and I can see him getting tighter and tighter. And I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna lose. I'm too out of position to pin him. So what I do is I elbow foul. It's quick, and I make it look like an accident. I just go off the side real quick, and I bring it back on. Ref stops the match because I'm not in a losing position all the way yet. So I do an accidental elbow foul. It wasn't quite the accident. Sorry, Bill Collins. So then I get a restart. But now I'm thinking to myself, okay, his wrist has been cracked open. His wrist is 15% weaker, 20% weaker. And I need to have my elbow in. I need to have my offensive ability in. I need to have my elbow in so I can drive towards the pin pad, right? So on the restart, instead of me being out here and doing all this, I know I'm really, because I took his wrist last time, I'm really going to take his wrist this time. His wrist is floppy flop now. It's done. It's ready to go. So this time, I go elbow in, right? Because I know I don't need to sacrifice all that other shit to get his hand. I can just go elbow center. So the second match, we say ready, go. I take his wrist here with my elbow here instead of my elbow way over here. I take his wrist right here, and then now I have the elbow drive to slam sideways. right? And so then I'm way more offensive. I have all my offensive tools engaged so I can start applying side pressure. So it was just knowing the situation, knowing what I took, knowing what's important on the list of priorities, and then applying it in a match. And I won, right? I beat him because he was too gassed, and he was using the same muscles again, because I took his wrist again. He was back on the same muscles again as he was last match. I was able to use my chest this time and my shoulder this time, which I didn't use last match, so they were relatively fresh. See what I'm saying? So in regards to outside pulling and what to prioritize, you got to hit their fingertips the more you respect it, but you got to know what you're sacrificing in order to bust their hand back, right? So sometimes people like Ingen Terzi will, he top rolls through the palm. Now what he does is he'll grab like here. Most top rollers, right, try to be up in your fingers. They want to be way up here, so that way they can bust the fingertips back. But imagine if you had enough hand control. Imagine if you had enough hand control where you could grab the dude almost like a dad move, right? You could grab him here. Instead of when he gets a grip, you grab way up here. Imagine if you could grab him right here, and deep within his palm, you could still, your pronation was strong enough where you could pronate and open up his hand. Then once you top roll him from in here, then you still have a hold of the bottom of his wrist. So now you can apply way more side pressure because you didn't have to fly all the way backwards to get it. You have the middle of his wrist, so you can apply way more side pressure because you're controlling his forearm at this point, right? You're not flying way back, you're controlling his arm. You actually have a hold of his forearm below his wrist, somewhat. So now your side pressure, when you start steering sideways, you're not having to deal with his wrist, you're just steering right through his forearm. So Ingen's is more, and a lot of European pulling, in my opinion, is way more hand-based. They grip you lower and stuff like that, and they top roll the middle of your palm because because they train their hand and wrist so much that they don't need to fly into your fingertips. They don't need to give up all that offense I'm talking about. They don't need to go backwards because they have enough hand and wrist where they can do it all from inside your palm, right? So that's one of the differences, right? That's why I call that silver bullet arm wrestling, flying way back or doing it within your hand. Sorry if that's so technical for you guys. I don't want to get all confusing on you guys. All right, where we at? What were you guys asking? Did I see someone ask about Craig Touye and since Chance decided to wear Hawaiian shirts as a costume brand for arm wrestling, what attire do you use as yours? How about overalls? No, that Nick Zinna wears overalls when he arm wrestles sometimes at tournaments. Langston versus Craig Touye. I got to go with my boy Langston for sure. Thomas Emilio Silva Ebensberger says, what about focusing on the opponent's rotator and have them palm up? Is it hard to pull when you can't lose your... It is hard to pull when you can't lose your rotator. It feels like you can't apply any force. You're talking about your pronation. When you say rotator, I think of rotator cuff. I think when you say rotator, you're talking about pronation. So you're talking about cupping through someone's pronation. It depends on the person. Pronation isn't everything to everyone. Like for instance, if you do that versus Todd Hutchings, it's not gonna kill him. Certain people are okay losing some of their pronation, especially when center table and driving center table. Okay, Uncle John is going live in, how much time we got till Uncle John? He goes live at 6. I think we got like 5 minutes, 6 minutes? Oh, Ian Carnegie's in me there. That's my boy. How about a basketball jersey? What is the key to arm wrestling in weight training? I heard it may be keeping your riser up in your hand and keeping your bicep close to your forearm. Maintaining rising pressure, guys, makes the other person hold on to you. If we're both rising, right, we start going up against each other, the person with superior rise will topple the other guy. Once this guy with superior rise who's pulling backwards makes the other person whose riser failed have to hold on. It makes him suddenly holding on to you, and now you're dictating the match. You're controlling everything by pulling backwards because your riser was superior. So superior rise in a lot of situations makes the other guy hold on to you, which makes you control the match. Now the other guy's changing his game plan for you because you're controlling everything, right? So rising is really big. But I would say cupping is really big. Most people live and die by pronation. Most pullers, 98% of arm wrestlers live and die by pronation, which is cupping. The way you target their pronation is by cupping, right? So having a superior cup is really important. Who, in your opinion, is one of the best pullers who can win even after losing their hand fully? That would be Jerry Caderet and Todd Hutchings. Yeah, Jerry Cadret and Todd Hutchings, in my opinion. Or Gennady can do it too. Gennady's good. Could you beat Mike Aiello now? I hope so, man. See the size of these things, guys? They're starting to get crazy. I want to pull Mike. Oh, Joe the Hammer Valentine with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Hey, Derek. I took your advice and started training pronation offensively and defensively. Awesome. It's been great, so great. In fact, I started doing supination the same way. Many thanks. Remember, guys, supination is controlled through your bicep, you guys. So I don't do supination by itself. So I don't know if you can see my little bicep, but when I supinate, see how the bicep contracts right there? Your bicep controls supination when there's any heavy resistance. Your supinator muscle is in your elbow, and it's very small. So the moment there's actual resistance against your supination, your bicep controls the whole load. Your bicep takes over. So right now, just look at your arms, guys. Put your thumbs up to like you're in a hammer curl position and supinate and look at your bicep. Just supinate. You'll see your bicep contract. Your bicep controls supination. So when I'm training supination, I train bicep curls, supinated bicep curls. I'll do like a dumbbell, but I'll supinate a little bit more just to help isolate it. But just heavy biceps will control supination. Then there's supination as far as like learning how to use it, which is best done on the table. But in regards to supination on a pulley system, I don't do it. I don't ever train. I train cupping, rising, and pronation, and then every once in a while I'll train down pressure and kickback, right, just for balance in the forms. But most of the time it's just those three. Ryan says he would beat you if you weren't on gear. What's your response? LOL. Ryan says a lot of crazy stuff. I'm not really too concerned with Ryan. He's a buddy of mine. Whatever. I mean, he has a YouTube channel and he has to make content, guys. So I'm not gonna read into it too much. Devon said, depth in the opponent's hand is the most important thing to have before the start of a match. What are your thoughts? Can you talk a bit more in depth about this? Depth into the hand, he's talking about pushing forward, getting them to slide down to the hand. The lower you are in my hand, the more I can cup, you guys. The further I'm out on your hand, the more I can roll out your fingers in your hand, right? So depth and where you're at in someone's palm is a really big deal, for sure. I can cup so much more weight if the weight's right here than I can if it's out here. So much more. It's a big difference. Okay, so how much time you guys got? How much time do we have till Uncle John starts, guys? Someone give me a countdown, please. I don't want to run over it. I like ending my stream right when John starts, so we can all just go over there. Here's a good question, Derek. John Brazilian only talks about grabbing lower but no depth to control the hand. What is up with that? I mean, he still goes for depth, but he just grabs low because he has so much hand and wrist. It's wild. John has an untold amount of hand and wrist in regards to cupping and pronation. It's crazy. It's like a hydraulic press. It's wild. Have you ever gripped up with Levon? Yeah, we were joking around. Oh, okay. Uncle John is live right now. Sorry, guys, I ran into it. Okay, guys, so no wonder I took a dip in viewers. Guys, I'm going to call it there. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I want to do more of this technical stuff, and like I said, I'm upgrading my system right now. And so once I get everything dialed in and I get the system all up and running, way better content coming out from you guys. So I'm really excited about all this. You guys, please head over to Uncle John's channel. If I have any moderators in here, please plug Uncle John's channel right here. He's live right now. He has Ian Carnegie on there, so he's gonna be interviewing with Ian, and Ian's a great dude. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you for all the super chats and everything. I will be here Sunday. I'm gonna try to go live. I'll go live on Sunday at my practice. It won't be like this. It'll be me live streaming my super matches and answering some questions, and then back on Wednesday again. It'll be just us hanging out. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support. You guys go out there and be bold, and I'll see you later.